low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yeah, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief.
What is going on, crypto fam? Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Nightcap. We're doing this every Monday through Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're trying to bring you some of the most important market news as well as technical analysis that you can actually use. Now, that being said, I don't do this alone. I got the man, one of the busiest dudes in crypto. He is Mr. FD White. What's going on, man?
I can't complain, man. I had to take my nightcap nap. That's a tongue twister.
Yeah,
No, I'm up, man.
say that 5 times fast.
Yeah,
Nightcap nap.
I'm ready to get into the charts. Yeah, man. Looks like we had a little bit of a downturn, man. But we can look at some levels and talk about it, man. See where we're going from here.
Yeah, not super surprising, right? We're still kind of flirting with that area of resistance that we've been talking about for the past couple of days. It is holding up, man. I got to be honest, like I did see it kind of building pressure going into it. So, I was kind of getting a little bit of bullishness, internally thinking hey, it might be an opportunity to break through. But here we are just kind of retesting again. Now, also, too, today, if you guys can't tell, there is a little bit new audio setup, we'll say. Got an XLR setup, but I think it's going to be a little bit loud. So let me know if there's a big difference between me and FD, and I'll try to tweak it while we go along during the show today. But other than that, the audio is working, so this is good news. All right, let's get over to the chat. Let's see who we got in here. First up is CryptoMar. He's dropping the emojis. He's first in the chat. Caffeinated Crypto. He's putting the little coffee emojis in the Shaka. My dude, what's up? Username. He said he's ready for the bedtime stories. All right. Alexander G in the house. How you doing, lady? Hope all is well. She's my SoCal lady. And username said, good evening. Look, man, username. I think we tamed the beast, man. This is a new username. He's coming in here all polite. So I like it. I hope you like the new background, man. I did that for you. But unfortunately, AI had a different idea what a plant was. So that's about as close as I'm going to get for you. All right, Crux of Crypto's in here. What's up, my dude? How you doing? Wix Wife Fine 889. I like the way that rhymes. Alex, Crypto. He said, I remember when I used to do things at 8:30 p.m. Now I'm here. Well, hey, so are we. So we can all be in this together. So it's actually 5:30 my time, though. Maybe we should try the West Coast. Let's see. Who else is in here? FD, French Toaster. He's singing along, baby. Go. You know you like that song. Wick 589, he's in here. So the dynamic duo is in full effect. Harp's in here. He's dancing. Who else we got here? Bob, what is up, dude? How are you? And then, let's see. Who else? More money. There you go. I like the new background. Noticed it last night. Thank you. I appreciate it. I did that with AI. So try to make something that's somewhat realistic, but then, pops a little bit. Because I noticed that I wear a lot of dark colors. So I blend in with my background a lot. So I figured it was time. It was time for an upgrade. There it is. It was a worthy attempt, sir. TradeFly. Appreciate the thought. I did. I tried. But AI, it does janky stuff, man. I don't know if you remember AI when it first started. It was doing like extra fingers and like you'll see like a nose like going out like Pinocchio, like all kinds of craziness. So hey, this is pretty clean in comparison. But right on. Looks like a fake Alex O is out there. Yeah, I have seen a couple of those. I've seen some lunar beaches, especially on Discord. I've seen LBC, Crux of Crypto. So I haven't made it yet. I guess I'm not there yet. So I think FD had one. You were on on X?
Oh yeah, I got more followers. My fake account on TikTok has more followers than me on TikTok. So I didn't report it yet. I'm just gonna let it keep growing and then posting the same stuff. So hey, let it ride.
There it is. Who, dude? There's one that's like crazy. It's Jason Casper. Yo, I probably have like 6 or 7 follows from Jason Casper. It's wild. His account gets hacked a lot, or not hacked, I guess faked, or whatever it's called when they make another one of them. But that being said, let's go ahead and get into the news. First up is going to be this right here, and I have no idea where it's actually at on my screen, so this will be fun. Let me go ahead and find it here. There we go. Now I'm going to play some audio here. Let me know if this comes through.
Could I ask you, Mark, whether you would entertain being a Treasury Secretary, Commerce Secretary in
I'm not hearing
Head of the
it. I'm not
SEC.
sure if everybody in the chat is hearing it.
Head of the SEC. That's the job I would take. Maybe HHS.
Could I ask you, Mark, whether you would
All right. So for FD, just so you know, he said he would actually be the head of the SEC. Now, that would be a wild, wild swing from what we have right now. That would be really, and think about this, man. It just, let's say Orange Man gets in. And I think there's a beef going on right now between Orange Man and Cuban. So I don't know that he would actually get in. But I mean, could you just imagine like having Elon in office and then Cuban also in office all at the same time with Trump? Like that would just be banana land. That'd be kind of crazy to think about. But I mean, Cuban, I don't know. He's a smart dude, but he also he can at times rub me the wrong way also. But the one thing that would be for certain is that he is pro crypto, right? Because he was one of the first dudes out there in the business world, especially like mainstream. They started accepting Dogecoin at the Mavericks games. So, you know, I mean, that would be bullish definitely for crypto. FD, what do you think, man? Would you like to see Cuban in as in the SEC?
No.
Or is that too much?
I don't
That's too
think
much.
so. I mean, I don't know, man. It seems like he's going super far. What is it? Is it left? I think it's left. I'm not too privy with the left and right thing, so I think he's going that. I think it's definitely something personal because he's just coming.
He's in the middle.
It's personal. Oh, he is. Well, this is personal. Then this is definitely
Yeah.
personal. I can tell the way he's just attacking them and how he's endorsing the other, the other candidate and whatnot. But him as a SEC, if Orange Man gets in, he's definitely not, because I think the president appoints the SEC the head of the SEC, right? So
You know, I don't know who
I think he
if he
does.
appoints the head of the SEC. Not 100% sure on that one, but yeah, they do have a little rift going on right now. So I want to say Cuban was supporting Kennedy, and he actually got him on the ballot. So there's kind of a rift there when Kennedy backed out and went with Trump. He asked to be removed from the ballots. Especially, I know there was one issue in North Carolina that I was reading about, and Cuban was like, "Nah, dog. Like, we spent a lot of money and we put a lot of time and effort into this. You're going to be on the ballot, and that's that." So that kind of hurts Trump, right? But yeah, so there's that little thing going on right now. But there's among other things.
Well, if it just comes down to doing the job, I mean, anybody could do a better job than Gary Gensler. And like you said, he's a little bit pro crypto. So, I mean, even if the slightest chance that he did, become it, I think he'll be doing a better job than Gary, sleazy Gary. But Gary, he was a blockchain. He had a course at MIT. He was doing all that too before he got into the role. So once you get into the role, who knows? Like the powers that be start controlling him. Who knows what could happen, man? He's a billionaire, but it's billionaires over here. So the real powers, once they get in control of you, then who knows what could happen. But we'll see. I don't think he's not gonna have no job nowhere. He's just gonna, in the government. I don't think so.
Just running his mouth. Yeah. I commented on his page one day because he had said something that was kind of like a little silly. And I was just like, bro, I was like, why don't you use all this energy? And I was like, why don't you do something good? Like, put your, put some action on what you're talking about and do something. But of course, I'm nobody.
But super rich people, once you're rich for so long, it gets boring. Now you want power. Like a lot of rich people don't have power. So that's the next evolution of life. If he's a billionaire. He's been super rich for so long. Now it's boring to him now. Now he wants
Yeah.
power.
Yeah, his basketball team's not enough. Let's see here. Alex O, he said, I still have my first fake account. Every month or so, I say thank you to them. Fair enough. Wick said, you made it. You got scammers. So I haven't made it yet. I'll work on that. Let's see. Indie Rock Crypto's in the house. What's up, dude? How are you? Hope all is well. And username say, Cuban is so annoying. I mean, lately, yeah, he kind of is. Let's see. And then, okay, so it looks like my sound is good. That's good to hear. Definitely good to hear. All right, cool. Let's get over to the next news article we got. And here we go over to the news. All right, PayPal enables U.S. businesses to buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrency. So if you guys remember, the SEC yesterday was saying, okay, you can go ahead and bypass our rule and, businesses can hold cryptocurrencies like officially. And so, I mean, it just seems like it's mass adoption is just coming in for cryptocurrencies here, as well as we already know that institutions are just steadily investing. I think I read something about BlackRock. I want to say they bought over $200 billion worth of Bitcoin since January 2024, if I remember correctly. So you guys can correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. It was over like 200 billion. So kind of crazy the amount of money that's really flowing into cryptocurrencies. Think about 2 years ago, we were begging for this, right? We were begging for like institutions to jump in for regulation, and for adoption. And now we're getting it all. And the funny thing is, be careful what you ask for, right? Because now they're going to suck up all this Bitcoin. And really where we're going to have to pay for it is later on. We have now taken a decentralized asset and we've turned it more centralized, right? So that's one, negative, we'll say. And the other one is that they're sucking up all the supply. So they're going to be in control, right? And it's going to be harder for us to attain. And so when we start talking about these pullbacks, I don't know that we're going to see bear market lows again. At least what we just saw in, I think it was 2022, because it started pumping in January of 2023. So yeah, so bear market lows, when we saw like kind of the tail end of 2022, I highly doubt we see that again, not with the approvals of the ETF. So like, you got to really like be smart about where you're starting to lather in and where you're starting to buy Bitcoin on these pullbacks, right? Because I know a lot of you are buy the dip kind of people and you wait for those things. I'm not going to say it's not financial advice, but let me be clear that I am not waiting for it to come down to 13, 14K again. Like, I do not believe we'll see that number ever again, unless something drastically goes wrong. All right. Alex O with a $5 Canadian super chat. He says, same question. I have over 40 ETH in profit. What do you do? A, hold, B, sell, C, swap for name that token. Also, make Nightcap greater than the morning show. Yeah, man, if you want to dump all that into the Nightcap and just let us explode, I'm all in, Alex. I mean, what other option is on there? I mean, yeah, just put it all into the Nightcap, baby. Let's go. Let's see, man. Dude, this is tough. I will tell you that I had Ethereum. That was probably my longest hold in terms of I've held that since, early, I think it was 2020, 2021, somewhere around there. I think my entry was around 1750, if I remember correctly. I sold at 4K. So I've watched it go up. I've watched it go down. I've seen it sub 1,000. And, I finally let go of it at 4K. And now that's pure dumb luck, right? Because, it hit 4K, which wasn't even the all-time high, but I felt like that was a significant enough psychological number and just the timing of where we were at in the market. That's when I finally sold what I was holding for a very long time. And a matter of fact, I called my buddy who has probably double the ETH you do. And I was like, man, I'd probably let go of it. I was like, I think that you're going to have opportunity to get in short or at a lower number. And he was long term, right? So like he's realizing a long term capital gain. So I was kind of thinking about that. Dude, it's tough. And I think that's why you're conflicted right now, because it has pulled back. like you're sitting at what, 26, 2700. I haven't looked at it today, but you're somewhere in that neighborhood, right? And so you've already seen 4K and you've already seen that pullback. So now it's a matter of, do you have the conviction that we're still going to follow that up and right trajectory, or are you starting to get spooked by the market, which I think is probably a factor in your logic right now. You're probably seeing the macroeconomic, factors that are starting to happen, and people are starting to talk about a recession, and the market can't go up forever, right? So S&P all-time high, NASDAQ all-time high, cryptocurrencies were hitting all-time highs. Like it comes in waves, right? I always say the lunar beach is crypto, it ups and downs, right? But what I can say is if you're looking at the S&P and if you're looking at the NASDAQ and if you're looking at Bitcoin specifically, you are seeing an up and right trajectory. So it just kind of depends on where you're at with ETH. That's tough, dude. That's not something I would feel very comfortable with giving you like some real financial advice on, because that's a significant chunk of change, man. Yeah, I can do the math on that. That's a pretty large number. So, yeah, dude, that's tough. I wish I had something better for you, but what do you guys think? I mean, that question is open to everybody. You guys can put what you think in the chat as well. And the thing is too, like when you say swap for a name, so there is a discussion with that, and who you need to talk to is Ernest, because there's a discussion that people are having right now that swapping may not actually constitute as a sale. So like look into that, look into the tax ramifications, because that could be an option for you if you want to get into the safe haven. And we all know what the safe haven is. That's Bitcoin. But do you think traditionally Ethereum has out kind of paced Bitcoin once it's made its move? It's just been different this time because of the ETF. And there's just a lot of adoption for it. Dude, I don't know, man. If FD, I'm sitting here, I'm stumbling, fumbling, and I don't want to give him a straight answer, because I would never want to be responsible for even him losing one single dollar. What are your thoughts on it, man? I'll put you under the gun.
It just depends on when his entry. Like my entry, I'm waiting for my API to upload. My average entry for Ethereum, which is my biggest bag, is $619.55. So I'm still what 6, 12, 18, 20, about 4x from my entry point. So I'm just gonna hold. Like I can hold through the ebbs and the flows, the ups and the downs. It just depends on what, if you need the money now, if your average entry price. I've been holding since early 2021. I think it was late 2020, early 2021. So I'm holding because I'm thinking more of Ethereum for a more longer term. If I did swap it, I would swap it for something that I think would stand the test of times, not for just a short term gain. For something like that, not financial advice, but it just depends. I don't want to say how many I got. I got a lot, but I'm just gonna hold it, and I don't have a sale price for that. I think Ethereum, like especially with the ETFs, I think Ethereum could be one of those things where it just becomes such a staple that I probably could borrow against it later down the line.
I was just about to say that exact thing, that is probably an option for you, is to borrow against it. And that in itself is like you're saving money, which is in turn really making you money, right? So that's something to think about as well,
sort of like,
Alex.
it's sort of like the real estate approach. Like when you borrow against assets, it's not a taxable event. And you know what? I do need to talk to Ernest too, because what if you convert crypto to another crypto like USDT? Is that a taxable event?
So that's what I was
Because that's
just.
not USD.
So
That's not dollars.
There's a big discussion going on right now about swaps. And so he'll probably have the latest information, but I was just reading about that some tax individuals are saying that's not a taxable event, and they're not charging that on their taxes. And dude, that's a game changer if that is the case. So
You can just hold it in USDT.
Yeah,
Definitely if you wanted to.
Because you're not
if it's not a taxable event, because that's another thing. Even when I'm trading, like when I go from asset to USDT, asset, because you really, when you day trade, you're supposed to keep count of all those transactions, But if I'm just going from crypto to crypto, because USDT is basically a crypto,
right. It's not a dollar.
It's not a dollar.
And so that's one of the big things with how they classify it.
Yeah.
And
So
so
this
that,
year I'm
like I
definitely
said,
gonna have to do it because I made some money doing it, so I have to actually, you know, this was like my first real nice profitable trading year. So I'm definitely gonna have to talk to E Money about that. I mean Ernest. I don't know why I was about to call him. I know somebody named Ernest. We call him E Money.
I
So
like it.
yeah, Ernest.
That's what we should.
Yeah,
We
we'll
should make
talk
that a thing. So
E Money.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
Ernest.
E
I'll talk to
money.
Ernest, man, and then see if he see what he's talking about. I know he has like a free consultation, so I'll try to implement that as well. But I'll hold ETH. Personally, I'm just gonna hold it.
Yeah, no, I get that. I think borrowing against it is probably your best bet. But yeah, I would love to hear what he says about the taxable events because this is the first time I've really heard that discussion. I've been using it ever since I started trading. I've always used it as a taxable event every time I've converted it, no matter what. So,
Yeah.
you know, that's not been very fun. And that's part of the reason I kind of moved more to like swing trades, vice trading all the time. Because there was one time I had like, dude, it was like 27 pages of transactions. And like I couldn't even upload it all on the TurboTax or whatever. It wouldn't even let me
Yeah.
upload it. It was like it was capped out at like 25. And I was like, come on, man. Like it was like now you
Yeah.
gotta pay like an extra $100 to do all 27. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
Killing me. But yeah, I've definitely slowed down quite a bit. A to
So
ace.
so user
You like
really
in the
quick
background. I like it.
username said, what about ADA? I'm in ADA too. I got a lot of ADA too. Like I got a lot of coins that were doing well in 2020 and 2021, and I haven't touched ADA. Matter of fact, I did. I sold some and I bought some SUI. I think it was a month and a half ago, but it wasn't like that much. It was just like a little swap, maybe a couple grand. But I believe in ADA. I don't think ADA is gonna just be just sporadically just blast off, but it's been standing the test of times. I think Charles is smart enough and the blockchain is fast
Mhm.
enough, and they might not, it might be, a lot of people call it vaporware, but I've been seeing a lot of growth. It's not a lot of stuff that's been publicized, but I think they're going to stand the test of time. So I'm holding a lot of these coins. I'm just going to hold, and then some of the newer ones. But I know how to trade too is different. You know what I mean? When you can do both, it's a little bit harder than just investing. You got to have different strategies for your different. It's just it's really different. It's really different.
Yeah, 8A said he had 64 pages, man. I feel your pain, dude. You know what I had to end up doing too? Is I did it all by myself. I had to consolidate all of it. So I was like, okay, here's the different tokens that I had. And then I had to combine all the transactions of both like the purchases and the sales and all that stuff. But it was crazy because if you guys ever look at the way the transactions happen, if you think just buying it one time or just selling it one time, there's only going to be one transaction associated with that, you are very, very wrong. There's multiple transactions.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
For one thing. Yeah,
For
it's like
one.
3 or 4. Yeah, it's just because you got the buy, you got the sell, you got the fees, you got it's all type of, it's like, I think it's like at least 3 or 4 that I've seen every time I'm entering or exiting the
Yeah.
trade when I really break it down. So it's a lot to it. I'm not doing it this year, I'll tell you that.
And then a lot of programs, they struggle with finding the cost basis. Like that's one thing I noticed too. I went through like 2 or 3 of them that like couldn't even figure out the cost basis. And it was like, it wanted to say it was 0. And I'm like, I didn't get this for free. Let me tell you, I did not get that for free. But then you got to track down how much you bought it for, which is also a pain in the butt. So crypto, it can get weird sometimes. That's the only thing that like, I probably dislike about crypto is the taxes. All right.
And one last
yeah,
thing
go ahead.
before we move on. It depends on how long you've been holding it too, because the long-term capital, like
Mhm.
now with Ethereum and all those other ones, I'm in long-term capital gains
Right.
territory. But if it's just within the year or so, something like that, then you got to factor that in too. If it is indeed a taxable
Yeah.
event, but that was just
And
still
so you
asking.
guys know if you're not that spun up on that, when he's saying long-term capital gains, that's you got to hold it for a year. And if you don't hold it for a year, you can expect to pay double what you would have paid in taxes, essentially. So that's the very simplified version of it. Twill Lineman for Hire, what's up, my dude? Ada Ace is in here. Who else is in here that I saw? Reggie Classics, what's up, dude? It's been a minute. How you doing? Hope all is well. All right, let's get over to the next article here. We went off the tracks a little bit, but it's all good. All good. All right, Justin, 100 billion asset manager VanEck says Solana has the potential to reach 50% of Ethereum's market cap. I mean, that move is already starting to happen. I do not see that too far-fetched, to be honest with you. I think Solana is going to be the very firm number 3 in my mind. You got any disagreement there, FD?
No, I think Solana. I actually was just looking at the phone. I wanted to pre-order it, but they got a lot of stuff in the works. A lot of times, it's either people love Sol and hate ETH, or hate ETH and love Sol, or love ETH and hate Sol. So I think
Yeah,
that is starting to. A lot of people are starting to go over to Sol. It's just a lot cheaper. The blockchain might
it's,
get stopped for a minute, but it's still a lot cheaper though. And
it's
once the meme
fast.
coin season comes back, it's definitely going to start to take that market, go up in market cap, because those meme coins, that's where everybody was trading those meme coins at. So if we look at the
Yeah,
meme coin, when the meme coin cycle came around, just look at how the it started gaining on Ethereum when yep, there you go. Yeah. When it started gaining on Ethereum. So if that happens again, I think this time it'll get even closer.
yeah, repping the soul shirt right now, man. Yeah, I mean, you guys know I get the soul train ready. That's kind of my thing. But yeah, it's fast, man. Like when I'm moving funds back and forth, especially when I'm using Coinbase as an on ramp, off ramp, I use USDC, but then I put it on the soul chain when I actually move it over to, if I'm sending it over to Blowfin or something like that. So and it's fast, dude. And I bought a couple NFTs, obviously very cheap ones. It's just, just kind of being part of the culture, part of the community, we'll say. But just dabbling in that world, it was crazy. Like it was so fast. I was like, this is usable. I think I made a post about it one time on Twitter too, and I was like, this is usable. Like this would be what I would expect. Like if I was out in public and I was trying to purchase something, and they were like, all right, let's use Solana. Like it was fast. It was fast enough where I could be like, all right, cool. Like we're done. Let's go. It was almost like Venmo. So yeah, man.
So
It
you know
went
what?
through.
If
Go ahead.
if I just started in crypto, I probably wouldn't buy ETH. I would probably go, the Solana route. Just I remember last cycle, man, it took me like a day and a half to get my transaction through during like the peak. It was terrible, man. It was so much congestion, so much going on. Sometimes Sol has congestion as well, but it's not as bad as Ethereum gets once the blockchain starts to get full. So hopefully a lot of their sharding and with all that other stuff that they're supposed to be doing, helps it out. But it's starting to become like, the Solana is overtaking it, man. But we'll have to see. Then you got what's the name rapping at events, Vitalik rapping
Oh,
at events and stuff,
bruh,
man. It's just like we need some better promotion for Ethereum, man.
Nerd alert!
bruh. That's all I gotta say about that, man. That dude. I tell you what. I saw like 3 like performances that people posted on X, and I was like, this is whack. Everything that I saw was whack. Solana, they were up on stage. I think they were rapping. Vitalik was up there doing whatever. I don't even know what he was doing. But I saw like 3 different events in Singapore, and I was just like, what the hell is this? Hire someone like legitimate. Like, please bring in somebody professional to do this and, make it look good. Marketing 101, dude. It's easy stuff. All right, cool. You know what time it is. On that note, when we're getting spooled up here, let's go ahead and bring out our dude, Elmer Fudd. Alrighty, so you guys know where you go for that economic data, the subject matter expert. That is going to be your man, Army Piper, on the morning show. But let's go ahead and read this. The Richmond Fed Manufacturing Employment Index plummeted to 21 points in September, its lowest level since April 2009. The index has been in contraction for the majority of 2024 and even sits below pandemic lows. Furthermore, employment expectations for the next 6 months fell to negative 12 points, the lowest since April 2020. Overall business conditions are now at their worst since May 2020 and second worst since 2008. The manufacturing industry appears to be in a severe recession. Is this really a soft landing? So this kind of aligns, what we've been talking about a little bit. Like all the metrics are telling us we're headed towards a recession. The data is pretty bad. The job numbers are bad. It's confusing almost to understand or to think about that the S&P and the NASDAQ is setting all-time highs in the midst of all of the negative data. Something is not passing the sniff test for me. And I think I have this hunch that there is going to be a little bit of a pullback, and it would make sense, right? Fed pivot, historically, it takes about 100, 120 days or so before you see that pullback. You get that initial euphoria of like, hey, we finally get these rate cuts. It's going to be great. And, for whatever reason, that pumps the market in the short term. But then you start paying the piper in the next, like I said, 100 days or something along those lines, man. So what do you think of that, man? You think this data is leading towards a recession? How are you feeling about the macroeconomic picture? I haven't heard much of your take on that.
Well, we here in Michigan, in Detroit, we like the auto capital. So we got Ford, GM, Chrysler. It's called like Stellantis now, and they're getting laid off. A lot of people are getting laid off. Then we have a huge trucking industry here. It's been slow. I used to live next door to a guy who was banging in the trucking industry. After I think it was like after 2020 starting, I think I talked to him last I talked to him was early this year. He said it was so slow he had to like switch to what he was, hauling around. So I know it's like a rolling recession right now. Like, certain industries, certain sectors get hit while other industries, don't get hit. So I mean, I think we're in something. We're in a new word. Like we talked about yesterday, man. This is unprecedented times. Like a lot of and then when you try to compare like the stock market or the to the real world economic macroeconomics, it's something's not adding up. But it's like we're in new times, so now we got to navigate as such. So a lot of people are talking about the debt. A lot of people are talking about recession. A lot of people are talking about the stock market. So I just correlated it as okay. A lot of people don't want to be in the dollar, so what you gonna? They want to be in something else, so they just put their money in the stock market, and that just caused the stock market to go up. And once the stock market goes up, and then it's so concentrated to a few different stocks, those just keep pushing the stock market up because everybody's just in those specific stocks. So, I think one of the things that I think Bill Noble usually says is a lot of people are saying a dollar in stocks is better than a dollar in the bank. So we'll see what happens with the next few months. I think everything will start to really reveal itself after this election. Once they got what they want, and we can really figure out what's going on. But until then, we're going to just keep getting these smoke and mirrors. We're going to keep getting all this false data, and we're going to keep not knowing the real truth. We're not going to get the real truth ever, probably, but I think it'll be a lot more clear once this election is over, because they're not even talking about what's going on overseas, like in the Middle East right now. That's not even like on the front page news. Like you see all this stuff happening over there, and they're not even talking about it. Why are they not talking about it? Because they don't
Oh, I
want
see it.
anything interfering with this WWE event that's going on. So what I'm just doing right now, I'm peeling layers back. I'm on the streets, boots on the ground, and I'm talking to people. I was just I know one of my guys owns a pawn shop, and he was just telling me about how the consumer is acting, how people are coming in with with these items, these luxury items, and he's not giving them what they want, what they pay for in 2020. So and they're taking it still because they just need the money. So it's just the consumer has changed. We see that savings have dwindled. We have new data on that every week. So it's just a trickle effect. It happens slowly, then all at once, and it just hasn't happened all at once yet, but I think it is coming, and I think we will get a pullback. But then they're going to intervene, like I always say, and then assets are going to go that way, and the wealth gap is going to go that way. So it's just be on the right side. That's all.
Yeah, the rich get richer, man. That's what they keep saying. And then that is an interesting take, though, to take into consideration pawn shops. I've never really checked in, like, to see the data on that, how they perform in a recession, right? That would be an interesting little bit of data, because I've been able to, like, in the real estate market firsthand. My wife is a real estate agent, so I've been able to kind of get the pulse of the market through her. So it is tough sledding, especially for those that do loans and that are in real estate. Thankfully, we don't bank on that at all. Like, we don't need that money. It's just fun money. But a lot of her friends have moved on. They've gotten out of the game, or they're finding check this out. So substitute teaching. She did that on the side, right? Just she used to, anytime she wanted, schedule was always open. She can't even find an open spot now because so many, I won't say moms, but there's so many people that are looking to fill those spots now that were not there before. So what is that an indicator of? Is it a poor job market, or is it people not having disposable income that they used to have? So they need, a little bit extra, because that's all, substituting really provides. So, I think that's a very valid indicator of where we're at in our economy right now, is as strange as it sounds, because it's just one of those things that I was like, it just made me like kind of raise my eyebrows a little bit. But yeah,
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. That's one of the things like like I got some real estate buddies. A couple of them are mortgage loan officers, and they just
hurting,
can't
right?
wait till these interest rates drop. They just been praying and
Hurting.
praying all for like a year for rates to drop so people can come and start to refinance because they just not really getting any customers and things like that.
Yeah.
So they're waiting, but I'm like, okay, we'll see how it works out because we're gonna need more influx of supply on the market, or these houses are just going to just keep going up as these interest rates go down. So it's just one of the things where we just got to wait and see. Like, I'm no macroeconomist, but I pat myself on the back as a smart guy, and I'm smart because I do a whole lot of research. I don't think nobody out researches me when I really want to research. Like, I might watch Netflix for a while, but then when I really get in my research mode, I'm really locked in like 12
Okay.
14 hours a day.
You dive
So
in.
that's what really dive in. So that's one of the things that I've been seeing. And like I said, I'm always talking to different people, boots on the ground, just sparking up conversations and seeing where their head is at. And like I said, sorry, I'm definitely in tune to how the automakers are going because here we're big in the auto industry. And I just seen a post on Facebook. Somebody was saying, please pray for us as Stellantis. They're trying to move our jobs overseas, and they're looking at massive layoffs, not just on the white collar side, but it's starting to hit the production side too. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, after this election, we will see.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, dude, let's go ahead and start moving into the market pulse. We are just getting after it. It's 6:09 my time, so I know we are a little bit behind, but hey, that's all right. It's a good conversation. It's one that needs to be had. Average Crypto Joe said, pawn shops and strippers know the truth of the economy. Oh, man.
Hey, pawn shops, strippers,
Yeah.
and bartenders, man. Do you want to know
That's
the
it.
pulse of what's going on? You
That's
go
it, man.
around there.
That's it. That's funny. But probably true, to be honest. All right, let's go over to the market pulse. First thing we got up here is going to be the total market cap. That is sitting at 2.22 trillion. That is down 1.79%. Total market trading volume over the last 24 hours is 65.69 billion. That's down 11.72%. And Bitcoin's dominance is currently sitting at 56.26%. And that is straight even from yesterday. Fear and Greed Index is still sitting in neutral. We are at a 53. Let's take a looky at what's trending here. That's most visited. Trending is Bitcoin at number 1, and then AI Companions at number 2, and Sui at number 3. But all of those are actually down percentages, but those are your trending tokens right now. Looking at your top 10 here, Bitcoin is, as always, sitting at number 1 at 62. Uh-oh, it's fallen, huh? We were at 63 today. 62,978, and that is down 1.85% for the day. Ethereum is at 2573, and that is down 2.66% for the day. BNB is at 583. That's a nice pullback for BNB. We were just looking at that yesterday. That's down 3.51%. Solana at 147. I think I saw that earlier at 150. That is down 3.11%. So this is a pretty hefty little pullback we're having right now. XRP is down to 57 cents. We know where it's sitting, between 50 and 60 cents. That's what it does. I made a little snarky comment last night on Billy Goat Tales when they were talking about converting XRP. I was like, you don't need to. It's a stable coin. It'll be there. All right, so that is down 2.28%. Dogecoin's in at 10%. That is down 2.51%. Toncoin at $5.66. That is actually up 0.4%. So that's the only thing that's green in the top 10. Cardano at 37 cents, and that is down 2.5. So everything is kind of in the same area, a couple to 2-3%. Nothing too crazy. Let's go ahead and look at your top 15 at a minimum here. I got to actually scroll it up a little bit so you guys can actually see it. And did we talk about Tron? Tron is currently sitting at almost 15 cents. That's down 0.8. AVAX, you know how I feel about that. I love me some AVAX. That's down 2.73%, and it's at $27. So, I mean, just less than a week ago, that was sitting at about 22, 23, maybe not less than a week, about a week ago, it was sitting at 22, 23 bucks. So, nice little move for AVAX here recently. SHIB at number 13, bunch of zeros and a 1.5. That's actually up 1.36%. And then Chainlink, I think that had a nice move recently, is at $12 even. And Polkadot rounding out the top 15 at $4.60. Dude, I think I remember Polkadot being up in like the 40s at some point, man. So that's one of my things too. Like when we talk about like moving, you know, from one crypto to another, you got to be very, very careful, man, because when you start looking at the correlation between where Bitcoin is, Ethereum is, and then some of these other altcoins, like where they should be relative to the price action of Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? They're always like, oh, Bitcoin moves and Ethereum moves and then all the altcoins follow. I don't think so. Not so much, right? Because if you look at Cardano, Polkadot, and some of those like mid, like the larger cap projects, AVAX, all of those were exponentially higher than they are right now. And they should have recovered, you know, to closer to where they were at, right? Think about it. Cardano was up over $3. AVAX, I want to say it was in the hundreds, maybe even, I know it was in the hundreds. I think it was in the hundreds, right? You're sitting at $27.
Which one?
AVAX. I'm pretty sure that was in the hundreds at one point.
AVAX, I think AVAX got over a little over 100. But I'm sure it got over a little over 100.
So that was up there. And then Polkadot, I remember that being in the 40s. It could have went higher than that, but like, you know, it's in at $4.60. So you got to be super, super careful with that, man. Your big players, your safe havens, you know, that's what I always tell people when they're kind of getting in, you know, and it's obviously not financial advice, and don't listen to me because I don't know what I'm talking about. Trust me. But the one thing that I always give them, like, hey, DCA in, number one, and then, you know, make the majority of your portfolio Bitcoin, and then like a quarter of it Ethereum. And then you're just kind of like dwindling down your averages into some of these other. So then you know, you have like your bigger ones like Solana, ADA, and then like you only put maybe like 1% or 2% of your portfolio in these crazy memes, right? Whatever you're willing to gamble away, then that's where you put into those memes. Where the memes have popped. So it was like playing whack-a-mole at some point. Like Bonk was up like 3,000% or something this year. So I mean, there's been some crazy move with the memes, but you just got to be careful with kind of moving funds back and forth between cryptos. Army Piper in the house. What's up, my dude? Hope all is well. I think I may see you tomorrow on the morning show, man. So looking forward to that. Hopefully everybody will be there. We do that at 09:30 Eastern Standard Time in the morning. So hopefully I'll see you guys over there as well. So, all right, over the crypto bubbles, we'll take a quick look at that. You got WorldCoin. That is up 12.7%. Knot is up 2.9. Rune is up 1.8. Hex is up 2.2. Not too many big movers, really. This is your only standout is WorldCoin. So there you go. And I think WorldCoin, that is tied to ADA, right?
No, that's OpenAI. Sam Altman, ChatGPT, OpenAI.
Okay.
With the iris scan, they used to scan your iris, and you can get some free.
What's the one that's tied to ADA? Isn't that one like a World something?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember off the top of my head. There's one that's ADA that ADA Ace talks about. That is not. Oh, it's WMT. There you go. So there you go. That's the one that ADA Ace always talks about. World Mobile Token. There it is. Yeah. So that one. All right. But yeah, look at that. I mean, it's mostly red on the board. I mean, that's really what we're looking at. Conflux. I really don't know too much about that. Popcat's taking a little bit of a hit. That thing was up, 40% over the last 30 days. So yeah, a little pullback's not surprising. Let's see here. Celestia, that's down 8.3%. FET's down 5.4. Jasmine's down 5.7, 5.8. So there you go. I mean, most of the board is red. We're sitting mostly around 3 to 4, maybe 5% for most things out there. And then there's a couple that are taking a little bit bigger hits, but no surprise with a little bit of a pullback here. So let's go over to the liquidation heat map, and we'll look at that on the 3-day. Well, it's clear as day where the close liquidity is. And now we're starting to see, here's that trend, right? Remember, I'm always looking for a trend. All right, a trend that's going towards the liquidity, and that's it, man. So I would not be surprised to actually see a little bit more of a pullback so we can grab that liquidity since we're so close and we're already trending in that direction. So we'll have to look at the charts there, but I remember telling you guys, 62.6, 62.5, that was well within play because the dynamic reactor and a lot of the support levels were underneath of it. So that is what do you say? Get him, Ada. Wait, he ain't getting me. He's helping me. Piper just wants somebody to get effed up around here. See, I see how you are, man. That's all right.
The cream of the crop. Nobody does
Yeah.
it better.
So
Let's go.
So I got who said that? Oh, Wick 589 said FD looks like he's relaxed where he is. His chips are on the board already. Man, when you in crypto, man, for so long, these ebbs are like it's nothing to me anymore. I wake up one day, my portfolio, I'm looking like yay, and the next day it's looking like boo boo. But I feel the same. I wake up, I'm gonna do the same thing every day because I know eventually where it's gonna go. Because I've been through, we've read this story before, man. Even though if we crash a little bit harder, I know inevitably we're gonna go up, and I think I'm in the right place. So I'm confident in what I'm in right now, and right now I'm just once we get to these charts, man, it's looking a little scary, but not too scary. But we're gonna look for some levels though. So soon as we get to the chart, I think I'll perk up a little bit more because I got some key levels that we do need to hold, and I'm looking for some bounces.
Bro, we're gonna need some sound effects, man. Yesterday we had boop, and today we got boo boo. So I'm gonna take note of this, man. I'm gonna find you some sound effects here. But I got my little things too. I always say. All right, cool, man. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pass it over to you. Hopefully you are ready. And I'm gonna let you take your first hack at some TA today, and then I'm gonna mix up with the chat a little bit, get kind of set up,
Okay.
and then we'll kind of go back and forth from there. Looks like we
Yeah,
had
I
a
mean-
request for Arrow. Yep. Alexander G said Banana Land. Yes, that is one of my crutch words that I say for sure. That's a biggie. All right, I'm gonna pass it over to you, man.
All right, so I mean, I was just looking at this channel that we started. We've been talking about this for a while now. We started around Friday, September 6th. So we've been just making higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Then we got up to this number here. We talked about this on the trade show with me and Piper yesterday. OC was on there too with us. I said I wanted to get up to 65, the bottom of this red bar at about 65,085. I thought that's where we were going to get to and started to roll over. We didn't seem to get that far. We just basically double topped here, like almost to the dollar. Like this is where we came back to I think Sunday, September 22nd. And then we came right back here, double top, perfect. Look at this breakdown. Like this is a short. If I haven't seen one, if you don't use anything else, just straight price action, double top, loss of the upper sloping trend line, come down, retest. Now we're headed down. And what do I think we're headed down to? I think we might come and try to get some of this down here at about 62.4 to 62.5. So that'll be my first bounce area. Looking, let me actually draw a line here, looking to come down here and potentially bounce here. Or well, what I've been looking at lately is the Asian session has been a little bit more bearish than the US session. So I will be looking to potentially come down here and see how we react to this line here. What I want to see, I definitely want to see this, have everything. We'll look at the oscillators in a minute, possibly reset, and then we can bounce back up and reclaim this trend line. This is very bullish. This will be very, very bullish, in my opinion, to reclaim this channel. I think we'll really pop up to about that 67 K area that we've been looking at. Excuse me, that we've been looking at. But I do expect us to continue to come down, man. I do expect us to continue to come down, and I'm not shorting right now because I'm just looking. This is not the environment. My environment is the past week that we've been in. So during that environment, that's when I'm trading. I'm opening massive trades. So then when my environment goes away, I don't have to trade. I don't want to trade every day. That's my thing. Like I come with trade setups and stuff like that. But if it's not my environment, I really don't want to trade. Like the first 6 months of the year, we killed it because that was my environment. Then when we started to get that summer lull going into the fall, I wasn't really trading that much. I was trading some setups, but then I stopped trading as much. But then this last week once we started to turn bullish, really bullish, and some of my setups started coming, I started to trade, ramp it up a little bit more. So now I'm trying to see how we hold some of these support levels. And we may have time to look at some altcoins, but right now for Bitcoin, I'm just seeing how we react to this upper sloping trend line. Looks like I said, we rejected here. Like, this is what I didn't like. Once we got above, we talked about this 200 day simple moving average. We got above it. And what do you see on these candles? Let me zoom in so the audience can see. What do we see? Indecision. Indecision. Then the next candle was what? A big red candle. And then we fell back below that 200 day SMA. So I didn't like these candles. That's why I was like, I don't know. Maybe we'll go up to 65,085. That was just well documented. We did it. We talked about that yesterday on the show. I saw these indecision, and then we got this red candle, and now we fell back below the 200, which Piper was telling us about to watch. Then we fell below the upper sloping trend line, which is the bottom side of this channel that we were in since the 6th. Retested it. Now it looks like we might be headed down. So I'm sitting on my hands right now. Sometimes the best trade is no trade. So I'm going to see where we line up. But it looks like we could come back down here, and I'm gonna wrap it up. But this is what we may see. We may see something like this just by eyeing it right here. We have this, and we can come back down here and potentially, like I said, pop back up and hit our head back down at that 64 level, and then really continue to roll down and form that head and shoulder. So that is something that I'm looking at. So I have an A, B, and C. Probably that looks like some sort of octopus monster or something like that with the eyes. Or I don't know what it looks like, but this is what I'm looking for, man. I got those 3 scenarios played out, and I'm just waiting to see, which one plays out. And like I said, we'll be prepared for anyone.
Right on, right on. All right, so I did see a request for Arrow. I'll be honest with you, I don't look at that all too often, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up for you right now. Kind of working through this live. So looking at the daily, kind of taking the top. Oh, go ahead. What's up?
We had a drop in the volume. Yeah, I did forgot to mention that the volume is dropping on this move as well. Thanks, Piper, just to throw that in too. So that's one of the things that I wanted to implement too, to the community. Sorry about that.
Yeah, all good, all good. So looking at Arrow on the daily, let's just kind of take a top-down approach to this. So you did have a range up here. Looks like it broke out, formed a new range really down here. So looking at that, it looks pretty good. So you got in this range. There was a symmetrical triangle that formed on the daily. All right, and now you got a breakout. You got a breakout with a true retest of the pattern itself on the top side, and also the value area high. So you got the value area high, and look, you had a pretty strong level here in terms of volume. So a lot of confluence here, including the dynamic reactor. You're on top of all that. So if you're looking at the daily, like you see kind of a little gap here. I would say there's probably going to be some resistance in this area because this is kind of a range in itself as well. So I don't have that on the chart. Let's go ahead and actually put another fixed range volume profile on there. Let's see, from like breakout. So I like to do kind of where it breaks out, right? So where it established a range before it actually broke out was about right here. Let's look at that. All right, so now if we're taking this right here, look, that worked out pretty well. So, this is the thing, people talk about the naked point of control. You have that at about $1.10, but your value area low right here, which kind of shows you a little bit of confluence with where you had previous price action, where you had a rejection. That's kind of where you're at time now. So don't be surprised if you have a little bit of a pullback. Just looking on the daily, you're in an overbought situation. RSI is trending down. Looks like most things want to start bending over here. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see it come down and retest this area. Now, if you're in a long position and you've been there for a while and you're still feeling, pretty bullish on it, then lock in your profits. I think you said you're in profits right now. Lock your profits in, right? So if you start looking like you don't want to fall back into this range, like if it comes down for a retest and it breaks down, then you may not want to be part of that. It may come down back to the bottom of this range here. So I would go ahead, I don't want to do this, and I would just say lock in your profits. I'm not going to say how to do it or what you should do, just because I want to be very careful of saying that. But that would be my advice, not financial advice. It is lock in your profits. And don't be surprised if you see a little bit of a pullback. So, put it whatever slop you need in there to feel comfy. But looking at this, I do think you could find some support in this area and actually see continuation up and right for Aerodome. It just has a lot to do with the rest of the market, right? Because this actually looks good, man. Like if you're looking at this on the daily, like let's go to Bitcoin real quick. Like this is looking like it wants to pull back pretty good, right? So like you got a negative or a red candle here on the daily, and then it closed red. But if you go to Aerodome, we haven't had it close red, right? So it's performing, it's diverging a little bit. That's one thing that I always look for when I'm looking at how other cryptos are following Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's daddy. I do that with Sol all the time. I look at Bitcoin, I'm like, hey, the trend is doing this for Bitcoin, but Solana looks to be like this, right? So one's going down, one's kind of horizontal. As soon as Bitcoin makes a move, Sol was going to pop. And I mean, it happens time and time again. So I wouldn't be too surprised if you see something similar for Aerodrome. If you see a little bit of a pullback for Bitcoin, which it looks like it wants to do, don't be surprised if we come down, retest this area before we actually get that continuation. But all in all, looking at the chart, man, you're going to hit a little bit of resistance, I think, right where you're at time now. But looks pretty decent, right? Like it looks like it's broken out of the trend. All right. So again, it looks a little different than some of the other cryptos, which is a good thing. So let's see. Let's give you some price targets right here, right? So this right here is your dynamic support and resistance zones. Right here, this is a chart prime. It's a free indicator. What this does is it shows you on the chart here, it overlays some of your support and resistance zones for you. So you can already see, like I had this one marked $1.03 because, and matter of fact, like in looking at that, I think that was this right here. So I'm looking at this range, but I would slide that down just a little bit. And the reason I would slide that down, I kind of align with where chart prime's at right now. And the reason is look, you got a retest, or not a retest, but a test of resistance here, got rejected. Came back up for the retest. Didn't even really quite make it. I'd have to, I guess a wick. A wick did make it up there. All right. And then you had a significant breakdown. And that's always what I look for when I'm trying to identify support and resistance is like, yeah, I want to see the test of support and resistance, but I also like seeing significant price action off of those areas. That's what always gives me the warm and fuzzy that the area I'm looking at is a significant area. So I don't think it's outside the realm of possible to see about $1.29 or so for Aerodrome. Now, understand that that's not going to happen tomorrow. And if you're in it for the long term, then, I think that's a very realistic area to see. You're probably going to, understand it's going to go up, right? It's never going to be perfectly just up and right. You're going to find you got the point of control about right here. You're probably going to see something that goes like this, comes down. You might even see a couple before you see something where it comes up, hits the point of control. You're going to see a rejection, most likely. And then you got the value area high and your area of resistance that I'm looking at about $1.29. So yeah, I think that it doesn't look bad, man. Honestly, it's just my personal opinion. It looks like it wants to break the trend. So it's obvious, it wasn't a down and right trend, but now, I would say like right here where this support level is kind of where like I kind of flip, right? It broke that trend. It broke the formation. It broke the dynamic reactor on the daily. Now I would flip bullish on Aerodrome. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right there. Hopefully that helps. And I will pass it back to FD and let's see what else he's got.
Oh yeah. So somebody Bluff City Breaks, he requested Moonwell. So I just pulled up some quick levels, pulled some fibs. So right now it's sitting at 3. I don't know much about this coin. Never heard of it.
It just listed on Coinbase, he said. So I pulled the Coinbase chart, which
well, that's
obviously,
good. Okay.
Yeah, you're going to see a big spike with probably a pullback so that's what I saw. So I didn't, I actually told him I wasn't going to touch it because I didn't have much to work with, but it looks like you got on KuCoin. So that might give you a little bit of data.
I think if it's called whale, if that's the ticker, then I'm on the right thing. So it's at 3.3035650 cent right now. So the key levels, I can just give you some key levels. I don't know if this is something that you're trying to trade or if it's something that you're trying to stack. So if you're trying to stack it, we literally just broke out of this massive support resistance level at about 0.0265 cent. So I mean, anything, if we come back down, if the market starts to reverse, anything down here and below, to me, not financial advice, of course, will be a buy signal or a buy area for me, because it's just been a huge support resistance flip here at the beginning of September. Back here we waked up middle of July, here again the end of June, just like so many touches, and then we have some heavy resistance coming in at about 4 cents. And then if we zoom in, that was actually on a daily. If we zoom in to get some sniper point of view, like you said, this looks like the emotional, probably the Coinbase listing. We hit our head here, which what's that at about 3 cent, 36650, which we're at right now. We could go up a little bit more, but with this big wick, I mean this big red candle coming down, looks like we're probably going to start making our way back down, or we can start flagging. So just look and see how this reacts under this level here, under this resistance level here at about 0.036. We'll just say 0.037. So see how it reacts over here. Maybe we start flagging underneath. Maybe we start, building some sort of an ascending triangle or something like that. Those are usually things that I look for under resistance. But for the most part, if the overall market is going down, we're probably going to start heading down too. So I pull some fibs from this level here. So we're probably come down if the market does start to flip a little bit more bearish rather, to about this 0.032 level. I would be looking for the bounce level right there. And then, like I said, ultimately, if we come back down to that 0.026, that's where I would look to go heavier long or be a buy signal right there. So I mean, you just gotta wait. Right now it's a waiting game to see what's going on. It looks like let's go back to the daily. It looks like it did a fairly good job. It's not even at all-time highs. Like maybe when they list it usually no, because it came from here. So the all-time high is at about 8 cents. So we're quite a ways from that. So I think this has something to do with Aerodome, or if I'm not mistaken, somebody please correct me in the chat. I think I seen this when I was looking on Coin Market Cap, because I'm on Coin Market Cap right now. Sometimes I try to go and do a quick little dive before I pull up the technical analysis side. So we're just looking at those levels right there. Right now I will be just sitting on my hands. If you're up, it just really depends on how far you're up. If you're trying to hold it, if you're trying to hold to back up to all-time highs, that's just one of the ways. We have to wait and see what the market does. This was back in March when the market was full bull. This was the peak of the market. March, the beginning of March, the end of March, beginning of April was the peak of the market. So everything's been down. So we're starting to, I like this. We're breaking some structure. We're breaking some macro levels. So the next macro level, like I said, we have to break is that 4 cent level. Once we break that, then we can talk about going back to all-time highs. But I like this. I like the structure. I like that it broke this structure. I like that it's going back up, and then we'll just have to see how it reacts within this 0.026 to 4 cent range, and then you can pretty much go from there. I'm actually going to look at it now. I actually like this chart, so we'll see.
Right on, right on. All right, cool. I'm gonna wrap it up just with some real quick Bitcoin. Just seeing something on the daily right now. So I think you did point this out. It's kind of broken a little bit of the structure here. All right, so you saw that up and right trajectory where at least all of the wicks were kind of finding support on this trend line here, and it's just now kind of gotten underneath of that. So I do think, based on where liquidity is sitting, because remember we said that's in the 62s, you're going to see probably price drop, clear out some of that liquidity, and I think that the dynamic reactor is in play. So you're looking probably at about 61K right now for Bitcoin. I'd say in the near future, in the short term. I wouldn't be surprised to see that within the next 24 hours, to be honest with you. So that's a quick thing that I'm looking on for Bitcoin right now. Everything else has remained the same. 65 ones in play, 200 SMA, yada, yada, yada. I'm not going to repeat all that stuff because everyone in here, you guys have watched this quite a bit. So just know support at the channel, 200 SMA, 65 1. Those are your areas of resistance. And then you got some areas of support here. You do have that trend line here, a lot of confluence here where I think you can find support. So keep an eye on that. But I think 61K is in play here in the short term. And I think that is going to be about it for the day. We ran a little long. So I hope you guys enjoy the extra TA. If you did, please give us a little bit of love and hit that like button. We would really appreciate that. And yes, we are trying to take over the morning show. Piper is correct. I did see him make a little comment about that. You better watch out, man. Our views are catching up with you. Better watch out, man. So a lot of love over here. You guys are awesome. We love having you guys. It's like a little family. We are definitely building a community here, which is super, super cool. It's much appreciated. So hope you guys enjoy it. We enjoy doing this. I feel like we're doing it for you. So there's not a whole lot of financial gain for me and FD, man. So we're on here just, hoping to help someone else out. So
you know what, man? You know what keeps me going? I love the community. I love, coming in and doing the TA and doing, talking about the crypto community. I mean, crypto market and the space. But when you have to come and you got to, do this on a daily basis and you want to come and try to seem as competent as possible, it keeps you on your P's and Q's too, man. So I definitely appreciate everybody for joining in and coming to the chat, coming to the video, coming to the live stream. It keep me on my P's and Q's, man. Because sometimes, like you said, I'm just sitting on some bags and I'm just chilling. So a lot of times, I especially when I was out of town, I was just chilling, man. I was like, I'm not gonna look at the charts today. I don't know what's going on. Who I don't know. But now every day I wake up, I'm on the charts. Every time I'm picking up my phone, I'm not getting on, TikTok or Instagram. I'm on the charts. So
yeah,
I'm doing this helps me, man. This
it
helps
does.
me a lot.
It
Man.
does.
So thank you all.
There's an aspect of accountability, and
Accountability. There you go.
we take it very serious. Like that's one thing, I try to be very, very careful of giving you guys any kind of actual like financial advice. And like I never, my personal rule number one, protect your money. So I really try to be careful because I would never want to see anyone lose a dollar. We are the anti-influencers here. So we're just trying to help out, and we're just kind of talking through what we see on the charts. Hopefully it helps. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you guys might have some input, and I'm always open to listen too. So don't be afraid of giving us some feedback and some input here in the chat as well. So we are totally open to it. But that being said, what did Piper say? None of us will ever get paid for this.
We are coming down though. We are coming down. If you Bitcoin right now is at 62,692. So my line that we literally just talked about 15-20 minutes ago is about 62.5 to 62.4. So be expecting or looking for some sort of bounce there to see how we react at that level. And then see where we can go from there overnight. Yeah, we're coming down. Now we just bounce back up, but we are coming down a little bit. So we'll see how this if this plays out.
The bottom side of the liquidity, just looking at that right now, looking at the liquidation heat map, 62K. So 62K is where there's a little gap, and then it starts again at like 61 and some change. So I think it's definitely going down to 62. I say definitely. I can look like a silly person right now, but I think it's going to 62, and I really think 61's in play. I think we need to kind of flip this area. I think we need to confirm that, this is a support level. There's a lot of confluence here. I think that's what we need to see before ultimately we can still see a move up and right. So not a bad thing, honestly. All right. What did Piper say here? He said if we just came out and said Bitcoin will go to the moon next week, we will get 100 subs per month. Maybe. Yeah. Hey, share the channel. You know what? Don't just like and subscribe. Share the channel. That would be dope. Wick, special shout out for you because you, Alexander G, I've seen you guys sharing the crypto nightcap, and that's much appreciated. So thank you guys. You guys are the best. All right. Again, for reals, we're actually going to get out of here this time.
Hold on, I got one more thing.
We're not getting.
This is funny.
All right, I'm leaving, man. You can do the outro. You guys take care. Have a good night. I got push-ups to do. Okay, I got 100 push-ups I got to do today.
Man? If we can't get the nightcap going, if we can't get the nightcap to beat the morning show, we're just gonna do XRP prediction videos to 100 every night. We're gonna do XRP to $100 videos. And we're going to go to the moon, and we're going to do all that. And I guarantee you our views will be going through the roof, man.
Yeah. Nah, for sure.
Even though even though I do like make XRP videos on my personal channel, but I do think XRP is gonna have a nice run, but not crazy. But you know, it does like the algorithm does like XRP price prediction videos. I will second that. They do.
Okay, noted. We're gonna do one of those. So, all right, guys, for sure. This time, hold on, FD. Do I have your permission? Are we good this time? Yeah.
All
All
good.
right. All right, man. Cool. We're gonna get out of here. Thank you guys again for. I'm all over the place. Yeah, us too. Can you see? We're gonna get out of here. You guys have a great night. Trade safe, and we will see you tomorrow. Yes, because that is Thursday, and then after that, it'll be rolling into the weekend. So, y'all take care. We're out. Have a good night.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yeah, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Yeah, I had to keep dancing. I'm sorry. Y'all have a good night.